Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of TNT Daily. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, click the like button, and also don't forget to click the bell so you know the next time we upload a video. Now, let's look at what is happening in China right now. As the Chinese economy started to go back to normal, the coronavirus still plagues the Chinese community. And as of yesterday, the Chinese government all of a sudden ask all Chinese citizens in Qingdao to wake up in the middle of the night and start nuclear acid test. Let's look at some details from our reporter, Chef.
According to a statement from the Health Commission of Qingdao, as of 11 p.m. of October 11th, there were a total of 6 confirmed CCP virus and 6 asymptomatic CCP virus carriers detected in Qingdao. All confirmed cases or asymptomatic infections found so far were closely related to Qingdao Chest Hospital, which is responsible for the treatment of CCP virus carriers from overseas. The CCP carried out a comprehensive nucleic acid test, NAT, in Qingdao overnight. According to the data released by the local government, around 277,968 samples were collected for NAT. The epidemic prevention of CCP lacks transparency. Once a confirmed case is found, CCP will carry out NAT in the whole area. As a result, large-scale crowds will be gathered, which may easily lead to cross-infection. Meanwhile, the CCP never reported the real number of cases publicly and transparently, and deduced the source of the virus from imported cases. Therefore, Chinese people were deceived to believe that the Chinese national defense of the epidemic was very successful. If there were cases, the government would claim that they were imported from abroad. The bounce of the CCP virus in Qingdao is evident that the epidemic did not disappear in China. On October 12, the Ludo Times on YouTube also talked about the situation in Qingdao. The host and guests were worried about the CCP would use the epidemic to harm Hao Haidong and Dr. Yan's family, but in fact, Dr. Yan's mother was brought to Beijing a few days ago by the CCP.
Okay, thank you very much for the reporting. Since the plague in China has not ended, it is not surprising that the Chinese government are continuing to research and investigate new pathogens that will probably help or would not help the Chinese government in the future. As a result, a new pathogenic biology research center was recently established in the city that is close to Shanghai. Let's look at the detail from our reporter, Chef.
The authorities in China have established the Eastern Chinese Pathogenic Biology Research Institution in Shanghai, claiming to research on the pathogen and national security with 2 famous CCP virologists. Chen Guangcheng, the Chinese virologist researcher who claimed that the virus was closely related to Zhoushan bats on nature, was appointed the president of the institution. Shenzhen, also the Chinese virologist who worked at the P4 laboratory in Wuhan, was designed to be the vice president. She published a paper articulating the virus was more related to RAGT13 on the same day of Zhang's publication of his argument. The official statement claimed that their presence at the institute would be an essential part of the national security strategy. According to Ludo Times, the new policies issued along with the establishment of the institution were to submit any scientific research to censoring groups for political screening before publishing. How could these 2 contradicted views be put together? According to Ludo Times, a plausible reason behind the scene is that as Zhang disclosed the 3 hard disks which contained highly classified information, they showed their oppositions to the CCP. Deploying Xu and Zhang to Shanghai may be their strategy to obtain these witnesses on Xi Jinping and Wang Qishan's crime in creating the virus. As the crime is being revealed, an increasing number of the Chinese authorities are trying to find the best way to wash off their misdeeds, and Luda believes that more drama within the Chinese government is yet to come.
Thank you very much for the reporting. Now, as the relationship between China and the United States began to worsen, the United States has started to deport and stop giving visas to potential CCP spies. And recently, famous exile billionaire Miles Guo claimed that the blind lawyer Chen Guangcheng was brought to the United States by the Chinese Communist Party, and it was a deal made with Hillary Clinton. Let's look at the details from our reporter Alex.
Chinese blind dissident Chen Guangcheng brought to U.S. by Obama administration is a total setup by Chinese Communist Party. Self-trained lawyer Chen made a dramatic nighttime escape from house arrested in April 2012 by Chinese Communist Party, eventually holding up in the U.S. Embassy in what became a major diplomatic incident between Beijing and Washington. However, based on the billionaire whistleblower Miles Guo live broadcast on August 27, Guo mentioned that Chen was arrested by CCP, then later rescued by Hillary Clinton, was a total setup by Chinese Communist Party's Ministry of State Security Department. When first arrived the U.S., Chen was given ISO devices preloaded with spyware by Bob Fu, who also a deep state spy who worked closely with Chinese Communist Party.
Thank you very much for the reporting. Now, up to the final news. As China began to go back to normalcy, the revitalization of Chinese economy is definitely on the top agenda for the Chinese officials. And recently, Chinese President Xi Jinping is planning to go to Shenzhen, the first special economic zone in China, on October 4th. Let's look at what Xi is planning from our reporter, J-Rod.
According to Xinhua Net, President Xi will be attending and speaking at the 40th anniversary for Shenzhen Special Economic Zone on October 14th. CCP and State Council joint published a pilot plan for a supposedly revolutionary economic development that will be tested in Shenzhen first. Xi tended to deceive Chinese with this false hope of a good economy to keep inner peace.
Thank you very much for the reporting. I just want to add one sentence. Just keep in mind, guys, socialists never know how to run economy. Every single country that has been run by socialistic government, they usually, without a doubt, run your country to the ground. So I advise all of the people from the West and Western democracies, do not listen to Chairman Xi's plan for a revolutionary economic development. It's total fake news. Now, that is the end of our report today. Tune in once again at the same time tomorrow. We will see you next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.